Hola everybody, it's Kai Pancho with the weekly Pele report. I hope you're doing all right out there. I had to get out, had to get away. Came up here into the mountains this time. I'm usually at the Machuca Rio, but I had to come a little more inland. Up here you can see the vegetation is different. Things are a little different up here. Moon's in Cancer. Cancer, Cancer. Let's have some water. Oh yeah. Feel those feelings flowing, changing, moving. That's the human experience. Woo! Moon is square Sun right now as I'm doing this report. Sun, still there in Aries, and the Moon moving on through Cancer, and she will go into Leo tomorrow, Thursday, and there she's going to hit what? Opposition to Mars, opposition to Saturn. She's doing the great biggie tomorrow, going into Leo, and then she's going to keep on moving. By Saturday she goes into Virgo, opposing the Mercury-Neptune conjunction happening over there in Pisces. I'm going to talk about that. And what else? She's going to continue on to become a full moon in Libra. It's going to be so nice. Beautiful, peaceful Libra. 18 degrees, 44 minutes. Libra, Sun over there in Aries. What else is happening besides that? I mean, by the time, Friday, Venus goes up there into Gemini. So she's moving around, going to leave her sign of exaltation, Taurus, and go into air, making a nice trine with Saturn and then Mars. That's going to be very beautiful. Same thing on Friday, we've got Mercury conjuncting Neptune exactly on Friday. And of course, this whole time, Jupiter is conjunct Pluto, but I talked about it last week. I showed that little video of big Jupiter, and Pluto is loss. Pluto is death, right? Big endings, big transformation, big loss, lots of death. It's just like really, the stars just kind of say it all. They lay it out there, yeah? The nice thing is on Saturday, besides Jupiter conjuncting Pluto, Venus does come into that trine with Saturn. And last but not least, Mars did that conjunction with Saturn. I mean, it's still pretty effective, right? But it's moving on, moving on, moving on, and it's going to square Uranus. Aquarius to Taurus. Don't forget Uranus and Taurus, right? That's going to be next Tuesday. So that's lots of things for me to talk about. Let's see if I can find a spot. All right, everybody. Ow! Mercury conjunct Neptune. What am I gonna say? Talk about chaos in the brain, right? Mercury, left brain, linear, logical, rational. It gets into Pisces, which is multi-dimensional and cosmic. Comes up and hits Neptune, ruler of Pisces, ruler of chaos, dreams, multi-dimensional realities that work very well in other dimensions. Not so well down here. A lot of times Neptune leads us into delusion, illusions, BS. Yeah. Fake this, fake that, fake news, deception, self-deception, deception by others, the mind playing tricks on us. It's like, so, this is like, on top of everything that's happening, we get Mercury coming around to Neptune to just throw a little monkey wrench, Like, what is going on? There's so much to talk about. I could go on and on and on, but I'll tell you what, it's too much. It's too much to put into a little weekly update. I want to look at the bigger, wider, broader picture. So I'm doing this with 9 other amazing astrologers. Yes, shaping a new paradigm. An online summit, May 4 to 10. At a ridiculous, we brought the price down to like just about nothing. A few $100 for what should be a few thousand. I mean, 34 talks on every topic you can imagine. I mean, if you're isolating, this is a time to learn astrology. This is a time to like really, self-develop. Self-develop. Get in there, North Node in Cancer. And by then, that North Node's going into Gemini in early May. Big shift. Cancer into Gemini. Got to talk about that another day. I just wanted to mention this. I'll put a link down below for that. You can check it out. We're doing a whole webinar April 17th on that. More info on my, I don't know if you get my newsletter. I got a newsletter. I've got a community of people that I give, I sit down, I'm doing it every Sunday. We're just talking. We're jamming together on Zoom. We have a Zoom meeting where we can fit 100 people on there and we all just talk. It's really a nice coming together of community during these times of social isolation. Saturn and Aquarius. Saturn is going to be in Aquarius for 2.5 years. I hope we don't stay in isolation for 2.5 years. I'll go nuts, man. Moon in Gemini. It's like, So anyway, more about, well, as far as announcements goes, there's also a global meditation. Mercury conjunct Neptune is perfect for a 1 million strong global meditation to heal ourselves, humanity, the planet. It's just coming together in the astral realms. April 4th, it's happening. Again, check my Instagram, website, Facebook, whatever. Yeah, there's all kinds of announcements about it. And it's not me, it's somebody else doing this, but I think it's a good idea. Okay, so as far as the astrology of these days, like I said, this Jupiter-Pluto is massive transformation, massive change. And both Pluto and Capricorn like control. And it's external authorities, institutions, governments, corporations, billionaires wanting to take control, fighting for control, and losing control. So, we are in a situation where there's a lot of loss of control, where it's too much. We have overwhelmed Jupiter, overwhelmed our institutions. Our healthcare, our hospitals, our governments, the stock market, what the patriarchs have put together, okay, just is easily amazing how Mother Nature has unraveled our economies in a matter of months. Woo! I mean, come on. If that's not a show of power, Gaia, she's got the power. Anyway. Yeah. I'm torn about because the mantra today is about taking this time to do Cancer. The moon is moving through Cancer, Leo, Virgo. These are the personal signs. It's time to get personal. It's time to reflect on our own inner worlds our own inner realities, what has brought us to this point. Whether you're 25, 35, 45, 75, we've all made choices, we've all made decisions according to what we value, according to what has been most important to us, according to what we believe is the meaning of our lives and the meaning of our existence, why we are here. And now, this is a time where we review, we reflect. Aquarius is about the future. Mars wants to go into the future. Saturn is committing to a new future. This is like starting a new future, starting a new age of Aquarius. And the old is tumbling, the old is falling. We're erasing the chalkboard, and what are we going to fill that chalkboard with? What we want to be doing now is being mature, being elders, being objective, and really doing Saturn and Aquarius, reflecting on the multiple potentials and possibilities of the future, not impulsively reacting, seeking resolution or back to normal or da-da-da-da, like it's going to happen tomorrow or it's going to happen this year. Like I've said 100 times, for many years, a 2,000-year age, you have to give 100 years to birth it. I've said 1950 to 2050 was kind of like my framework, time frame for this ending, beginning. And we're kind of, we're kind of in that timeline. We got to give ourselves, 30 more years. So let's really look ahead. Let's look at the long term, the long range. Okay, this idea, okay, that, Q and Anon and, the white hats are going to come in and, destroy the deep state and, everything's going to, be hunky-dory, okay, by the end of this year, or, we're going to be a blackout later this month and, everything's going to be, worked out. I will say it's absolute not happening. There's nothing happening in the term of one president, okay? We're looking at global change. We're looking at the destiny of humanity, all right? This isn't just a election year phenomena, okay? It's got nothing, well, I don't want to say nothing, but it's, it's beyond politics. It involves socio-political, religious, cultural, conditioning, patterning, and transformation. Super, super deep. Super, super long term. Rome was not built in a day. Like I said, the last time we had this tight of a conjunction in Capricorn of Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto was the birth of Babylon. Babylon was not built in a day. The age of Aquarius is not built in a day. So saying that, what I also want to really bring in to is that we're kind of socially isolating now, and this will not go on forever. Okay, like I said, things go retrograde, by July and August. There, we will be able to come up for air. We will come out to breathe a little bit before we descend back into chaos for the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in December and January. But what I'm saying is this coming, it's like we're bobbing down this, we're going down the rapids, man. It's boom, bam. You go under, you grab some air, you come up for some air, boom, bam, bam, you get down again. I mean, it's like, I could shake the camera for, Okay, it's a rocky, bumpy road. And what we can say is that the world is going to be different by the time we emerge out of this birth canal, by the time we emerge out of social conditioning, by the time they have a cure or a vaccine or something that's going to, handle this right now, unmanageable pandemic. It will come into, all these flus, our immune systems build up, our DNA changes. That's a part of what this virus is about. It's bringing in a change of our DNA. And I don't want to go on too long. I'm going to go on this a lot more about the summit, but our DNA is changing in order to adapt, to the ridiculous amounts of electromagnetic fields that we are creating on this planet. Our DNA has to adapt in order to survive the hostile environment that we are creating for ourselves and our children. I was just reading, it's like, what I want to say is we're going to come out into a different world. We're going to come out into a highly technological, advanced reality that is being controlled. And this is the challenge where the corporations and the governments have gotten together. The governments were supposed to protect the people from the corporations, but now they're all taken over and they're all, so it's like, whoa, we're going to be coming out into a world of facial recognition, or into a world where we're chipped, or into a world where these vaccines have have made it, ridiculous for us. We're going to be coming out into a world, where our phones are tracking us, and it's just going to be very, very different. Moscow now has 170,000 cameras mounted, and they've already, arrested thousands of people with facial recognition, and they want to put in 9,000 more. China's already doing it. It's coming. And my message has been, since I started doing these Pele reports a decade ago, get out of the city, man! Get out of the city! It may be easier said than done, but if you look at where the problems are, where the 5G is, where the electromagnetic fields are, where the hospitals are crammed, where there's not enough ventilators or masks, where is it? It's like every major city. Bashar, one of my favorite channels, he shot himself out into the future, and around the year 3000, he saw us dismantling the cities. So it's going to take like another 1,000 years, before the general population gets it, that, condensing and just being on top of and covering the earth with concrete so that our bare feet cannot be grounded. One of my listeners sent me a whole little book on grounding, and how when we touch Mother Earth with our bare feet, the electromagnetic field helps harmonize us and ground us. I hope you got a backyard or you can get out and walk barefoot. Get out and get grounded. Chill. Center. This is this North Node in Cancer. So anyway, I don't want to get, too far out there, but I want to say that to me it's like this is a time where we may need to be a little bit like Robin Hood. Robin Hood and his merry men. Robin and his merry men. And I got that. The Sabian symbol for this full moon, is a gang of robbers in hiding. Yeah, man. Protest against disharmonic social privilege. Just very quickly, I want to say a barometer of morality, of a good place to who to believe in, what to believe, who to trust. It is about health, the health of the planet, the health of the population, the health of nature. Whoever is a proponent of health and healing is somebody who has a heart and who is empathic and is in touch with the feminine quality of unity and union. And what does that do? It costs money. And that's why when you've got greedy, capitalistic, materialistic, self-centered, narcissists hoarding tremendous amounts of wealth, you have terrible healthcare systems that fail the population, that fail the people, that don't take care of the weak and the old and the infirm, and we just allow our brothers and sisters to die. It's really sad. We can only hope it changes. We can only hope that we move from the selfish head to the empathic, sympathetic heart of compassion. In the meantime, this is a weekly report, man. It's just really it's about Robin Hood, or early Bolsheviks in Russia robbing banks to finance the revolution. I found it interesting. Somebody noted how the riots in Hong Kong just went to dead silence, when this virus came up. It was like boom, right? This is just like a time where we have to gather on the internet. This is a time for us to maybe in hiding or maybe together, outside surveillance or whatever, while we're all at home, to come together in these online summits, these online meditations, meeting people together. Maybe not so much, for Tinder or for hooking up physically, but for creating a conscious community of like-minded souls. This is our time. This is our time. So, it's just about really dismantling the pyramid consciousness of the old patriarchy and coming into a new paradigm. Yeah? The key words are group protest. But it's also saying it's a gang of robbers. An individual alone, we cannot make the change. We have to band together to make this age of Aquarius the age that we want it to be. And so we need to do our Chiron healing. Chiron still square the nodes. This Chironic healing of the masculine, of finding our power as personal individuals and then coming together as empowered people. I'm yelling over the waterfalls, man. This is the quietest place. I tried to set up the camera in a few other places. The water was so loud, you couldn't, it was, yeah. That's what happens. It's a steep. It's coming out of the mountains. It's moving fast, just like these days. So the mantra for this week, right, is during these uncertain times, it's important that I control my mind, as along with my body and feelings, it creates a temple for the divine. Spend some time in social isolation. Spend some time in meditation. Spend some time feeling your feelings and creating I printed out this verse by Rudolf Steiner. I'm going to take some colored pencils. I'm going to color today. I'm going to color rainbow colors, and I'm going to frame it, right? You know? I mean, get artistic. This moon going into Leo. Create an altar. Create some sacred space. And whether you're alone or with your beloved, you know, create time to, you know, really feel your deepest feelings and reflect upon how you would like your personal future to be different than your personal past. Because this is the time of reflection, and it will be time to act. That time to act is not right now. That time to act is coming next year. We're going to have a retrograde Mars in Aries for like 6 months, from like July all the way into January. I mean, it's just like, whoa. It's a lot of Mars in Aries. There is going to be a lot of social protest. You can see it coming. I'll tell you right now, part of what has been coming to me is maybe that, you know, Trump is going to just, you know, put off the elections, you know, delay the elections. He's going to use, and so many people are going to just use this crisis to secure their power and secure their position to where we will need to protest. So, you know, this big stuff is coming in November, December, and January. And it's going to be the second wave. And it may not be so much about, okay, the virus and the health as much as the economy and the politics creating another crisis. It's going to be like really rough waters. Get used to the rapids here all the way into 2021. So this is a time of creating space, going within, connecting to divine inspiration that is going to give us, with our imagination, with our inspiration, with revelation, what our position is, what my role is, what my destiny is within the greater context of humanity. Everybody's doing something different. 12 different signs. Okay, you know, a billion different, you know, charts. Everybody's got your own unique role to play. You may be at the front, you may be in the middle, you may be at the back, you may be lifting it up, you may be blowing the horn, you may be, you know, fashion designing and colors and inspiring. I mean, there's so many facets of a culture that we want to build. It will involve each of us building and cultivating our own unique specialness that we can then contribute. So take this time, value this time, love this time, enjoy this time as much as is possible, with the loss and the grieving that has to accompany the loss. Allow the feelings, okay, to cry and laugh and scream and dance and, you know, fall down and rise up. You know, be human. Be human. This is what the North Node in Cancer is all about. It's our emotional body makes us human. Ow! One last time. I'll let you get back to your isolation. You know, ow! During these uncertain times, it's important that I control my mind, as along with my body and feelings. It creates a temple for the divine. Watch your thoughts as the moon moves through Virgo. Purify your thoughts, cleanse your thoughts. Don't be full of anger and hate and disturbance and, you know, da 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 da, and the good and the bad and the right and the wrong. Try to, you know, try to stay in the heart space and create this beautiful temple where we invoke the divine by creating a safe, beautiful space for that light to enter. Let's try to do that amidst all of the dark and the pain and the suffering and the anger and the frustration. You know, bring it in. Bring it in. Energy follows attention. Control your mind. Focus your attention on what you can do. If you want to not feel helpless, don't try to control something that is totally beyond your control, because that is what makes you feel helpless. You know, control the rice and beans on the stove, okay? Control the, you know, the weeds in the backyard, or, you know, control the water in your flowers. You know, I mean, control what's close to you. And don't get this feeling of helplessness by always focusing on what is way out there. You know, you are not going to change the world single-handedly. So make some good friends. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.